Welcome, kind listeners, to Under the Banyan Tree.
The live show where ancient epics meet modern minds.
I am Leo, a yogini from the West,
And I am Mayank, a rationalist from the East.
and together we journey through the Mahabharata from the retelling of Ramesh Menon, epic of war, fight, and everything in between.
Everything in between.
So today we are reading the chapter 29th, The Brilliant Pupil, and chapter 30, At the River, from the Sankalpa of looking for purpose in the text. So Mayank, what's your meaning of purpose?
So before I delve into purpose, Happy New Year!
Yay!
Yeah, this is our first live in this 2026. Someone was not well.
Yeah, someone decided to have a very bad cold and after damage his back.
Yes. So, Happy New Year to all our kind listeners, kind viewers. And when it comes to purpose, my definition is quite simple. It is a goal or aim which can be long term or short term. And I know you have a much nicer definition than me, so I would like to hear you.
It's not, for me, I don't know if it's nicer or not, but it's my understanding. So for me, a purpose, it's in a way what gives meaning to your life. It's the motivation, it's the values, is what's behind your aims and goals. So yes, it's related to aims and goals, but an aim or a goal that it's achieved and driven by your purpose makes you feel fulfilled. And the aim or a goal that does not align completely with your purpose, it still gives that sensation of emptiness and what's next.
Mm-hmm.
So my understanding of purpose, it's, I think, in a way much more subjective, and because it's not measurable and depends of each one of us. But it's related to your definition.
But I still have this question. So you said that a goal which fulfills you, you call it purpose, is it? Or
No, it's not the goal itself. Is the motivation behind it.
okay. So the motivation to
It's a motivation that it's action oriented. And motivation, in a way, it's action oriented. But like I have, one of my purposes is to be at service. And the way of being at service is by teaching the philosophy and the techniques of yoga. And it's at service to others, and it's at service to anyone and everyone that has that feeling that I'm much more than the body, I'm much more than this perishable identity, but I don't know what it is or how to find it. So this is one of the ways, and I've learned this way, and that's my purpose. And it's deeply aligned with who I am. So when I'm talking about it, or when I'm teaching, or when I'm sharing, it's not about how much I will make by the end of the day, that it's a byproduct, but there's a sense of realization within me because I'm being motivated by my purpose.
Okay. Okay. I think probably our definition differs in that way that my My definition is more goal oriented, and your definition is more process oriented. That's what I feel. Like, in the sense that you defined purpose as the motivation for.
For, the way I want to behave,
Hmm,
who I want to be,
hmm,
how I want to show up, and in what I want to do that reflects that sense of purpose.
okay.
And actually, a sense of purpose, it's very important to the mental health of anyone,
Hmm,
because it gives the sense of totality, of being a full-fledged human being, that nothing is left behind.
okay. Okay. Let's see. I don't know how it will go.
And this is a point of view,
Mm.
but that's my understanding of purpose. And
But say if I ask you this, if can you give me a one line definition for purpose? Is it possible for you to give it, or would you say no?
well, yesterday we were talking and
Hmm.
I said something and you made me write because I couldn't remember
Hmm.
what I said. And I said that purpose, it's a goal which makes you fulfilled. Um, but and you were right in the sense of enjoying of the process, because when you are doing something that aligns with you, you don't suffer the process, you enjoy the process, and you learn to enjoy the process
Mm-hmm.
of reaching there. And I don't think we need to have um, a set purpose. And sometimes it's just the purpose of the day. And today my purpose is, to make someone feel better. Today my purpose is to be at service of my colleagues at work. But I think it's much more of a frame of mind and of being than something so tangible and measurable.
So just last question, and then probably we can move ahead.
Okay.
How will it change if you say, so the goal of my day is to do this? How do you think it's different than purpose of the day?
Sorry, I didn't understand your
So I was
question.
just thinking when you said that it can be like purpose for the day, that my purpose for this day is to accomplish this or to serve someone. But then my question is, if I just change it to, I just change the word to goal, that goal of the day is this. What exactly do you think is getting diluted there?
I, I think that's a very subjective, um, and it has different ramifications. When I say my goal is this,
Hmm.
if I don't achieve that goal, depending on your level of self trust, you will react in different ways. So if you trust yourself, you'll be okay. I didn't reach my goal. Uh, what can I do better? How can I do this in a different way? If your levels of self trust are not that high, and there's, I think most of us in one level or another are working on that, you will feel insecure, or you will feel that you are not good enough. And when you change your compass to embodying that purpose, is a flow. And even if you didn't reach your goal, you've done your best. And tomorrow I will do um, even more, or I will dedicate in a different way. So I think maybe for me it's a way of bypassing some interesting ways that our ego behaves to protect us.
Okay. That I think with me, I don't. Maybe I don't think that deeply about words. Uh, like
For me, words are important because words define our reality and define who we
yeah,
are.
but like say I am not going to go out and have and think of distinction between purpose and goal. Like yes, I get it that usually like at max I would say okay, purpose is something bigger compared to a goal. But I may not put these ideas that say
For
if I
me,
don't say sorry to
sorry.
interrupt, but if I don't say if I don't fulfill my purpose for the day or something, I'm going to feel equally disappointed as if not fulfilling a goal of the day.
Okay.
So
And if you reach the end of your life and you feel that you fulfilled all your goals,
mhm.
but none of your purpose.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like I don't know, like if I have a different list of goals and purposes in my head.
I think you do, but that's another conversation.
Maybe like I don't know. I don't know. Like say if I come to write them down, will I write different things? Will I write the same things? Yeah.
I think simply for me, when you are when you feel that you are walking towards the realization of your purpose, there's a sense of totality in you. There's a sense of,
But why it can't be there when you are chasing a goal?
therefore, your goal aligns with your purpose. Great. Okay. Let's imagine that you are doing something that goes against your values.
Mhm.
And that doesn't mean that it's something wrong. It means that doesn't align with your values, that it's not something that makes you feel realized. You keep doing it and you can decide this is my services, my service to the community. But within you, there will be a sense of it's less than, or a deep resistance to it, or a sadness within. And everything is too much. And why I'm doing this? Well, I have the paycheck at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So, and I'm not saying that it's wrong or we shouldn't do that. I think there's a lot of very noble reasons behind it, but I'm using it for the sake of comparison. And when you are doing something that makes you feel in the flow, there's no time. It's just you and what you are doing. And there's a sense of totality, a sense of rightness, a sense of what the payback, it's just doing it. Something that you would do even if nobody will pay you to do it.
Okay.
Okay? That would be probably more aligned with your purpose.
Okay, let's do one thing. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go through the text and see if I can distinguish between goal and purpose. Let's
But
try that.
okay, but did it make sense?
I still feel that I can put them both in one bucket, even though I get it that they are different words. When you
It's
say it in
mm-hmm.
a like, if you say the purpose of my life is this, it has much more gravitas and weight to it than saying the goal of my life is this. But I also feel it's just wordplay. I don't think that like it has a lot of difference. That's what I believe in. And that's why I want to go through the text, because I know in this text we have such examples where someone is aiming, or someone has a goal, or someone has a purpose to become something, and we can probably try to understand that whether this thing is a goal, or this thing is a purpose, or something bigger, what it is. What do you say?
Yes, but I absolutely 100%. But I think in your life and in your experience,
Mhm.
there's things that you do that gives you a deep enjoyment and
Mhm.
makes you feel alive, and you can keep doing it for hours and hours and hours.
Mhm.
And it's not play, it's not fun. Other people will look it as work or as something tough and difficult. And there's other things that you do just because you have to do it.
Mhm.
And at the end, it feels that, oh, it doesn't give you anything back in your heart, but you set that goal and you you do it because there's another reason to it.
I would not say that it's a goal. I would just say it's a chore, it's a task which I just need to complete. I just take it that way. Like, and I can relate with you when you are saying that there are things which I think, and even that's the case with you as well. The things which you look very tough from outside, from someone else's perspective, but you are doing it for fun. Like for you, you don't even realize how your time is flying away. And then there are things which which you have to accomplish, which you have to just finish to stay afloat, because we all have to contribute in this big yagya of capitalism. We all have to do some ahutis there, so we are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I remember it from my yesterday's conversation with some Irish teenagers, the girls. They asked me, "Do you like your work?" And I was like, this is such a loaded question which you have asked me. So, but that's the thing. Like, I will call them tasks. I will call them chores. I don't call them goals. Not
But
in my head.
okay, but in your life,
Hmm.
you set certain goals in order to be able of executing these tasks.
Mm-hmm.
You never said, oh, because my purpose is to do this job.
Like, I can think of purpose a as one goal or series of goals with a bigger vision. Like I am going towards that direction when
Okay.
it's come to say modify my definition. So at least you have convinced me to that point for now.
I don't want to convince you of anything.
No, like it's just say whatever you are saying. It is stretching my prefrontal cortex to rethink about my definition, and that's the yeah. For now, I could reach there. I'm yeah, but I still don't think that they are way too different.
And I don't think either that they are way too different.
Mm-hmm.
Because, first of all, we are doers. We need to act, and I think the only main difference for me, it's the energy behind it. And yes, you can have a goal with a purpose, align with your purpose, and you can have a goal that it's not that aligned with your purpose, but it's maybe even informing it or allowing you to later take other actions aligned with it. And I think nowadays people are very preoccupied with having a big goal or a big purpose, like save the world, change mentalities. And sometimes for me, it's my purpose is simply nurturing my plants. My purpose is, again, being at service of something, being at service of life. And I think this is very important, to want to do something that goes beyond your individuality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm having a brainwave, a consequence of this conversation. Maybe a goal, it's individual driven. I want this for me. And a purpose, it's something wider than just the satisfaction of the individual self. I don't know.
I would say this is the longest we have discussed on just
and
the theme.
It's a very subjective.
Yeah. But like, I think we should move on.
Okay, let's go.
Let's dive into the text, and probably we may get more clarity there.
Okay, and so because we have 2 chapters, we decided to separate. One chapter will be one doing the Shravan, and the other chapter will be the other. So I will do the summary of the first chapter, chapter 29, the Brilliant Pupil, and the second chapter, 30th chapter, will be Mayank doing the summary. However, Mayank decided to help me because I'm learning how to do summaries. So I'm going to share over here to show you the drawings that he's done to try to help me in this process. So if my summary has some gaps, I'm just following drawings, okay?
Go ahead.
Okay.
This is this is Picasso in action. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Okay, chapter 30. Sorry. Chapter 29, The Brilliant Pupil. So in this chapter, we have Bhishma giving a fantastic house to Drona and silks to his wife, and he lived as a very rich man. And in exchange, Bhishma asked him to be the guardian not only of his grandsons, but of the kingdom. And Drona knew that was a very heavy task, but he accepted. Throughout this chapter, we come to know how Drona is teaching the Kuru, and he does not tolerate weakness, and he makes life even harder to his favorite pupil, that is Arjun. And there's 3 different situations shown to us. One is that before the sunrise, all of the Kurus had to fill in an urn with water from the river, and they would have to run back and forth 5 times except Ashvatthama. So Drona, Ashvatthama, the son of Drona. So he made clear that Ashvatthana pot would be bigger than the ones of the Kuru. So he had to run always 4 times, and he arrived always earlier to the classroom. But Arjun, after 1 month, figured it out that he could arrive even earlier than Ashvatthama, because the moment the first student arrived, Drona would start the class. So Arjuna used Varunastra to fill in his urn and arrive much earlier. So he very quickly became even better than Ashvatthama. After we have the situation, let me look at the drawing. Oh, okay. So Arjuna would train day and night. He was he was one single-minded, obsessed with archery. So he would train over the night, except at new moon because it was completely dark. However, Drona asked the cook to make sure that every time he was eating at night alone after training, to have a lamp nearby him. But one night, with the wind, the lamp went off, and suddenly Arjun realized that, oh, wait, I might be able of training without seeing the target. So he went to train, and he was even better than when he was seeing the targets. And Drona came to him and said, I've been here for a year waiting for you, and my genius boy, and I will make sure I will make you the best archer of the world. And the last one, it's a very famous tale where Drona makes a task for all of them. It's a test where they need, from a 100 yards distance, they need to bring down a wooden bird. And none of them could see what they should see. So Drona would call one and ask, what do you see? And they would say, oh, I see the bird, and I see the tree, and I see you. And Drona would say, go back, you would not bring down the bird. And the last one was Arjun. And Drona asks Arjun, what do you see? I see the eye of the bird. What else do you see? The head is round. Bring it down. And we have a small instruction from Drona explaining that if you even can't see your target, you cannot bring it down, and your target will shoot back at you, and it's in motion. So if you don't bring it down at the first, you will get killed. So all of you were killed in this battle, except Arjuna and maybe Ashvatthama. And once again, he say, I think it was here, that I will make you great, the best archer of the world. And Arjun was the far, far best in archery. And it was the first, second best at all the other war arts.
Yep. So Yudhishthir was best in charioteering,
Yep.
Bhim and Duryodhan in mace,
Yep.
Ashwatthama in divyastras, and
yep.
in mantras, and Arjun, Nakul and Sahadev in swords,
Yeah,
and Arjun was
the best.
the best in archery and near to second best in every other thing.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, go ahead. Second, chapter 30.
Chapter 30, at the river. In this chapter, Drona takes his disciples, his shishya, to the river Ganga, where he goes in evening to pray to sun god, I guess. And then when he gets inside, there were few logs floating around in the river, and one innocuous looking log suddenly turns into a monster crocodile, a 30 feet long crocodile. And that crocodile um, bites deep into uh, Drona's thigh leg, and didn't let him go. Drona cried for help, and within his first cry itself, Arjuna ran. And even Bhim tried to stop him, but Arjuna just ran, grabbed his bow and arrow, and shot at the crocodile, and made sure that Drona comes out safely. When this happens, Drona becomes really happy with him and says, uh, because you have saved my life, I'm going to give you the boon of Brahmastra. And he makes all the students sit in a crescendent kind of structure, and he and Arjun sits in the middle. They sit in the middle. Drona says some mantras, and Brahmastra, an arrow with four heads on it, it comes down, and with another mantra, it becomes part of Arjun. Like, kind of, the arrow becomes him. And Drona instructs him that this should not be used against any mortal man. The astra can only be used against either a powerful asura or a dev who has turned bad.
Why?
Why? Like,
Why he can only use it against an
oh,
asura?
yeah, because if he uses it against an immortal man or something, the weapon is powerful enough to like finish the whole creation, not just the planet, but the whole creation. So it should only be used. So essentially, it should only be used in dire circumstances against a very powerful enemy, and not against mere mortal men. Is there anything else?
And at the end, so the Kuru they were very happy,
Yes.
but the Kauravas, they were becoming darker
So
and darker.
Pandavas were happy,
Yeah, and
and
the
Kauravas,
Kauravas,
because yeah, Pandavas were happy because Arjun now has Brahmastra, and Kauravas, as always, were jealous and sad.
I don't know if there's even because he has such a weapon. I think they were happy for
Yeah, like for
the
them,
brother.
it's like their brother accomplished something big, so that's why they were happy.
And I don't know, maybe because he had the capacity of doing something that they didn't, because all the others they froze.
Mm.
And between two screams, Arjuna threw away, I think it was Bhima. He picked his arrow and he shot five arrows into the crocodile, his eyes and heart.
Mm.
So maybe there's even a sense of respect and
Yeah, makes sense.
towards him.
Mm. Yeah, makes sense. So, theme.
The theme.
Yeah. Where exactly you found the theme? If we start from the beginning.
So, and maybe what I'm just about to say is incorrect, but we were trying to understand the difference between purpose and goal. And if we look at Drona, he is fulfilling his purpose by teaching the Kuru. And he has one goal,
Mm-hmm.
that is to have revenge over Drupad.
Drupad. Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, this is an example of the difference between purpose and goal. The purpose of his life or the purpose of his actions are not to get revenge. That's a side goal. That
Hmm.
it's even fueled or motivated or by a scar, by a wound in his heart.
That's actually a very good example. That's a very good one. Yeah, like in very simple words, his purpose is to teach because he's a good teacher.
And because he all his life was dedicated to learn,
Mm-hmm.
and his duty, let's call it, his purpose is to pass on that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that how happy he is for finding a shishya that is so dedicated that even he considers him his spiritual son even more than his own body and flesh son.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking very, very low. Let me bring up my volume. I'm sorry for that. At least I'm paying attention now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was a very good example, I think, which you used,
And
and it clarifies a lot between purpose and goal to me. Yeah,
thank you.
you're welcome.
What else? Where else do you see purpose?
But I also feel that assignment from Bhishma, where like say where Drona was assigned this responsibility that he's not just a guardian of the grandsons but also the kingdom. I would classify that assignment as a purpose because essentially his life was more or less owned by um, Hastinapur after that.
And maybe that's the problem of having your purpose defined by other people. Because after he had to fight against himself, basically.
Yeah, but what I feel is that, I think those times were different in the sense that people had conflicts when it came to responsibilities and morals, and they chose, like, in those conflicts they were like, okay, I feel this responsibility or this duty is more important for me to fulfill.
But you said at those times
Hmm.
it was different. And sorry, I didn't
Like,
understand
I meant
what's.
the people were built different, at least in the stories. I don't know about the real people, but in the stories the people had, like, their I feel their definition for ethics was much more stricter than what we have now. I feel
Do
we
you
have.
think his uh, acceptance was, I think it was partially driven by his purpose and partially driven by his goal.
Like his acceptance, I couldn't.
Acceptance of being the guardian of the grandchildren and the Kuru and the kingdom.
So for me, I think of it this way, that he's a man who in those times was supposed to provide to his family, and as soon as he gets an opportunity where he can provide to his family and live a dignified life and give a dignified life to his family. In his head, he's indebted for his life. So now there is
Mm-hmm.
no option to even say no.
So, can I?
Hmm.
Does the life of a poor person it's not a dignified life? Does
Uh,
the life of a poor person is not a dignified life?
See, poverty is not bad if it is only for you. Okay.
Okay.
Like you
No,
can't,
sorry. I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
I just the word dignify was like
No, but
okay.
for him, like I'm talking about, his perception, his mindset, what he is going through.
Okay.
He sees that his kid is crying for milk. Okay. Like I'm trying to be in his position, that how difficult it would be. Like for me, it would be very difficult if
Mm-hmm.
suddenly I realize I'm not able to support my family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what I feel here is that as soon as that transaction happened, that here you are, here is the position, here are the benefits. So that transaction, in very crude terms, I would not say it's a contract between an employer and an employee. It somehow becomes slavery.
Mm-hmm.
That now, and it's not even that the other person is saying that I own you. It's the slave himself saying that now you own me. Now you own my life. Now you own my ethics, my morals, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what was the problem with people like Bhishma or people like Drona, that because they go by those codes and principles, they can't, they simply feel that they don't have the option to even say no, which is wrong. Like, I feel that you should always keep your options to say no, and which I think Krishna later establishes. Like, okay, just get called out that you were ungrateful, but do the right thing.
And do you think Drona didn't do the right thing?
Oh yes, I think later we realized that he didn't do the right things. Like I can, okay,
Do you,
probably
do you think
spoilers.
do you think he had any idea of the consequences of saying yes to both?
So that's one thing, that you can't predict future. Okay, but also feel, and that's where I think this is, and maybe I'm digressing from our overall theme and everything, but I think one particular issue which I found problematic in religion is surrender. Okay, like it is usually celebrated as a virtue. Even in this chapter, Arjun having complete faith on his guru. Okay, and I get it, but in this case, kind of, Drona had that complete faith that whatever Hastinapur will ask me will not be unethical. So it's like, when you are good, you see goodness around you. So that was the problem, I think, with people like Bhishma and Drona. They never perceived that this system could get so corrupt in future that it will ask immoral things from them. So they didn't have that idea at all, I feel. They were just they were just blindsided by this faith that what worse will happen. It's a system which lives on morals, ethics, and I'm not against Drona or Bhishma fighting from Kaurava's side. It's a battle. You have to fight from some side. The only place where I feel they all have to be blamed, and this is a spoiler, was when Draupadi was getting disrobed.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they would have fought from Kaurava's side, I would be totally okay. But that was the instance where they had to stand up and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they can attribute it to their loyalty towards Hastinapur, or they can say that we are slaves, we have no choice. They can say that. But then I feel, such strong characters should not become slaves. It doesn't set a good example to the society.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I think of it in this way again, and I'm so sorry, probably I'm now ranting. Draupadi was a queen, okay, and she was getting disrobed. What if it was a common woman of Hastinapur? If a queen doesn't have a say, okay, a common woman from Hastinapur who is totally vulnerable, who can't look up to anyone else but characters like Bhishma and Drona, okay, I just feel it's as if you have that kind of strength, with great power comes great responsibility. You are accountable to the vulnerable ones. You can't simply say that, oh, I don't have a say here. So that's what I felt went wrong with these folks. But maybe they can say we just missed out. Many times we don't protest in the places where we should. We just miss out on those opportunity and regret it later for our lives. But maybe something like that happened to them, if I will have to give them benefit of doubt. But I genuinely think that that was a bit too much. They had to speak up. Bhishma could have turned the whole thing upside down. Drona could have done that. I think they just didn't want to called out ungrateful or disloyal, those kinds of things, and that's why they didn't take any action.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for sharing. Um,
And it has
shall
nothing to do with purpose.
shall we go back?
Yeah.
Um, so Arjuna, I think he is the beacon of alignment. He wanted to be the best kshatriya, and he's done anything, everything, went above and beyond. And yeah, he surrendered to his master, and he practiced more than anyone else. He became the practice itself. And that's why at the end we have the sentence of archery is no less than Dhyana
Mhm.
in the in the in the voice of Rona. And I find it remarkable, and I think in a way it's something that nowadays in our modern society we want to be June without in any area, some area of our lives or skill, without going through the process of practice, of failing, of sweating it.
Yeah. I think one, you know, I think it involves two steps. And I think majority of the people are even missing the first step, and probably including me. At least Arjun knew he wants to be a great archer. So I think that's the first step, that he knew he likes archery. I
Yeah,
think most of the people, they don't even know what they like. Unless you know what you like, you are not going to become best in it, is it?
um, yeah, I think so. But and now it's my turn of
Ranting.
of ranting. I think it's that's a consequence of our educational system.
Mhm.
You are educated to be a cog in a system. So from very young age, you are shaped to fulfill that. it's not about your strengths, it's not about your inclinations, because one thing is to be that raw diamond, and okay, I'm a raw diamond in this area, so I am aware of that, and whatever it's around me is aware of that, and I'm mentored in that direction, to polish my edges. That doesn't happen. What happens is, okay, you need to get into the system, and I will shape you to get into the system. And everyone is, in a way, after want to make part of the system. Otherwise, I'm too different.
Yeah, as I said, in the yagya of capitalism,
Yeah.
it's not that we are sacrificing anything. We are the ahuti. We are the sacrifice. So, yeah. But, and I also think it was a two-way purpose. So, uh, Arjuna also had a purpose to become the greatest archer ever, while Drona also wanted him to
To
become.
be. But and I underlined that part
Mhm.
in the text because Drona, he created obstacles in the process of Arjuna, and he had the hardest path to become the best of them, and this makes me think about an allegory of life, and maybe we have more challenges, or we think we have more challenges, but every time we face an obstacle, at least I try to think, um, if this is on my way, it's because I have the capacity of overcome it, and this is making me
I
a
will
better person.
I will ask my kind listeners not to fall for these kinds of things. These are people for whom life is always half, like glass is always half full, very optimistic people. If you are having problems in your life, cry about it, crib about it, uh, make everyone's life around you a living hell, because you are having problems in life, and it's totally okay. It's totally fine.
Because this is what happens in this house.
There's nothing like you become stronger, or God only offers difficulties to those who have
Don't talk
stronger
about God.
shoulders, or whatever. Whosoever is writing the script, or yeah. But yeah, I get you. But I think, so that's like my question is, what do you think is the direction? Usually people say that the heavy burden is offered to them who have stronger shoulders. But I don't think that's the flow. The flow is, because you are carrying heavy burden all the time, you have developed heavy shoulders.
Well, but there's many people that decide to not carry that burden.
I like those kinds of people. They put that burden on someone else's shoulder. Go for it. Delegation, you will be great manager in future.
So, and apart from that, I saw something that maybe it's only me seeing it, but I wanted to bring it onto the episode. So we have different types of disciplines where each one of them master. So we have Arjun that has single-minded. He become the best archery. Okay, and we have Yudhishthir, that it's the oldest, and he's the best charioteer. And I think most of us, we are already familiar with that Upanishadic comparison where our body and mind is compared to a chariot with the charioteer, where the horses are the body, the reins are the mind, and the driver, they are the mind slash senses. Senses are related to the mind, and the charioteer is the intellect, the buddhi.
Mm-hmm.
And I, in my analysis, because Yudhishthir was the son of Dharma, and he never lost himself, and all his actions were aligned with Dharma, he had to be the best charioteer because he was Buddhi himself.
Mm. That's a very good, very, very good analysis. So, in a way, he was the one giving direction to Pandavas.
He was the one giving direction to all the other amazing characteristics. So, in a way, they were the arms and the
Like
legs.
the other Pandavas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was the intellect of them. Yes, that's a very good one. Very good observation. Though, I don't know. Like, I don't know what exactly the original text says. This one says charioteer. Mostly till now I've heard it was a spear that he
Oh
was.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you commented that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's just this text, or we can check with the original text as well that if he was a great charioteer or not. But it goes well with your analysis, so we will keep it for now. Um, anything else which you would like to discuss in alignment with the theme? Because
I think there's something that it's very dear to me in the text, that it's the fact that he says, Drona says that archery becomes Dhyana, and only through that process you achieve mastery. And Dhyana, I think it's an unbroken, total, effortless absorption of consciousness in one thing. So it's when you become the thing, when you don't think about it. And you remember when we were watching The Last Samurai, where a kid says to him, do not think, that he became one, that the ego is no longer informing the body, that it's beyond it. And I don't know, in this chapter, I just saw some glimpses of the Bhagavad Gita, of the chapter.
Okay. I just consumed it as a story most of the times. Didn't look into a lot of philosophical aspects.
Every
But
text has something to teach us.
yeah, it has. But yeah, I think for me, I don't know if I'm ever in the state of dhyan or something. So I'm not going to comment on that side. But yeah, I get it. Like I can get it in the sense, um, like people say, being in the zone.
Being in the flow.
Yeah. So yeah, being in that kind of state. Hmm. Do we have anything more?
Well, I think we can move on to our blessings.
Mm-hmm. We can.
Well,
You go first.
I will bless Arjun
Mm-hmm.
because he is considered the perfect disciple or perfect shishya, not in that sense of, you know, he does everything that he's told, or he's a full-fledged perfect diamond, but because he does the work. And for me, it was and it is an example. of how to dedicate myself to what I consider my purpose.
Hmm. I think for me, majorly, there were only two characters in these two chapters. So for me, it was Drona, because I said it yesterday as well in that session with the girls, that there are no bad students, only bad teachers. And I genuinely feel that yes,
He was
Arjun,
the right teacher.
yeah, he was the right teacher for Arjun, and that's why. And even though he had all those, conflicts, humanly conflicts within him, uh, between uh, between his students and his sons.
We, sh- we shouldn't demand perfection from others, right? He was just human.
Yes, he was just human, but I think he still tried his best. Tried overcoming um, those attachments with his son, and he gave it all. Whatever Arjun deserved, he didn't deny him.
Mhm.
And I think, being a good teacher, I think he should get that credit. So therefore, my naman is to Drona.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome.
thank you so much. So that's it for today.
Mm-hmm.
And in the next episode, we'll be back with chapter 31. Read it.
Eklavya.
Under the sankalpa of reading it from the point of view of discrimination. And discrimination, I believe, not from the point of view of yoga or the Upanishadic understanding, but the much more modern
Yeah.
understanding of it.
Yeah. The social norms of discrimination, more or less.
Ooh,
Yes.
okay. Anything else?
Um, Nothing. Just Happy New Year to all again, and please, we know we took an extended break before coming back, and we will not be available next week, so we will be available next to next week. And yeah, just be patient with us. Just watch our videos whenever they are online. Binge watch on our playlist. Comments, uh, just put your comments. If you don't like us, let us know in the comment section. Just give us engagement.
He just asks little of
Yeah,
you.
nothing. No need to be kind or something. You just
Why
write.
we call them kind listeners then?
They deserve to be known as kind listeners, and they can put unkind comments if they want to.
Because everyone is kind.
Yes, you have kindness somewhere in you, even if you are a psychopath.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. See you
Namaste.
soon. Namaste. Thank you.